Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Final Broadcast, the only station that's still keeping you company through another long, quiet night. I'm your host, and as always, I'll be here with you, playing the songs you love, reading your messages, and keeping you updated on what's happening out there in the world. It's just past midnight, and I know a lot of you are still awake. Maybe you're on the night shift, maybe you can't sleep, or maybe, like me, you just prefer the world when it's a little quieter. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, but first, let's check in on the news. The reports today are calling it civil unrest. That's the official term. Riots in the city. Hospitals overwhelmed. Authorities working to contain the situation. You know what I think? I think that's bullshit. I've been getting messages all night. Texts from you. People out there, in the streets, in their homes, watching what's actually happening instead of listening to some polished news anchor read off a script. And what you're telling me doesn't sound like just a few disturbances. I got a message an hour ago from Mark in Eastwood. Man, this is not normal. People are losing their minds. I saw a guy get tackled by police, but he just kept moving. They shot him. He still got up. What the hell is going on? All right, Mark, let's break that down. You're saying this guy, after being shot, stood up and kept moving? I know adrenaline does crazy things, but I don't think even the toughest junkie walks off a bullet wound to the chest. And Mark isn't the only one saying this. Another message from Sarah in Westbrook. My sister works at the hospital. She texted me saying they're on lockdown. Patients attacking staff. She won't answer her phone anymore. Someone please tell me what's happening. That's what I keep hearing. Hospitals locking down. People attacking others. And the police? They aren't de-escalating anymore. They're shooting to kill. Officially, the city is experiencing a violent outbreak of mass hysteria. Unofficially, I just got a text. No name, no location. Just this. They move even after you shoot them. Headshots work. Nothing else does. Get out while you can. Let me repeat that. They move even after you shoot them. I read that, and you know what the first thing I thought was? I thought, this guy has watched too many horror movies. I almost ignored it. But then, another message. This time from Rick, Southgate District. Dude, they just shut down the bridge. Military everywhere. People running, screaming. Saw a guy get bit by some psycho covered in blood. He fell. Didn't move. 5 minutes later, he got back up. Bitten. Fell. Then, stood up again. Okay, let's all take a deep breath. Because I don't know what the hell is going on. But I know one thing. If what you're telling me is true, we are so far beyond just civil unrest. We are so far beyond just another night of riots and police sirens. And here's the thing. I live in the middle of the city. I can hear the sirens outside. I can see the glow of fires on the skyline. And I haven't heard a news update in over an hour. The official broadcasts have stopped. They're not telling us anything anymore. I just got another message. This one from Jen, somewhere downtown. Please read this. People are attacking each other. It's not drugs. It's not riots. They're biting. When they go down, they don't stay down. My brother is a cop. He just called me from the station. He said, barricade the doors. Don't go outside. If someone gets bit, leave them. What does that mean? What does that mean? Jesus. All right, I need anyone listening to confirm this. Are people actually turning? If you're seeing something, if you're out there, text me. Because if this is true, if they're shutting down the roads, if the military is out, if people are getting back up after being shot, we're not looking at a riot. We're not looking at some chemical spill, some virus, some mass hysteria. We're looking at something else. And nobody is telling us the truth. I need to think. I need to breathe. Because I'm sitting in this station, and for the first time in my life, I don't feel safe. I just looked outside. There's something wrong. The streets below, they were packed an hour ago. People running, screaming. Now, they're empty. No cars, no people. Just shadows and weight. There's someone down there, standing in the middle of the street, not moving. I can't tell if they're hurt, but shit. Someone else just walked up to them. They're just standing there, face to face. No words, no movement. What the hell is happening down there? If you're listening, lock your doors. I don't know what this is, but it's not normal. The police can't stop it. The news won't tell us the truth. We're on our own. Stay inside. And if you see something, text me. Because this night isn't over yet. Alright, folks. If you're just tuning in, I don't even know where to start. The official story is that this is just civil unrest. That people are panicking. That the government has everything under control. But if you've been listening, if you've been watching, if you've been outside, then you know that's bullshit. Something is happening out there. Something no one is telling us the truth about. And if you're like me, if you're trapped in your apartment, in your car, in some gas station off the highway, then you're probably wondering the same thing I am. How much worse is this going to get? The streets below me are empty now. Or at least they look empty. No traffic. No people. Just bodies. Lying in the middle of the road. Not moving. I can't tell if they're dead or if... Shit. One of them just got up. Slow. Unnatural. Like something was dragging it, pulling it upright against gravity itself. It stands there, swaying. Then, it turns. Looks straight at my window. Like it knows I'm watching. I back away. Heart pounding. I don't know if it saw me, but I don't want to find out. I need to focus. I just got a message. They're lying to us. The news. The government. It's already out of control. Stay inside. Trust no one. No name. No number. But I believe them. The TV is useless. Every channel is the same. A government spokesperson reading the same script over and over again. Remain in your homes. Await further instructions. Authorities are working to restore order. Restore order? Buddy, you lost order 5 hours ago. I just checked the police scanner. And, it's bad. Cops aren't talking about arrests anymore. They're talking about containment. Locking down whole districts. Shutting down roads. Shooting anyone who tries to break quarantine. They're calling them infected. Not suspects. Not rioters. Just infected. If you were still thinking this was some drunk people causing problems, think again. New message from Mike, Westbrook. It's happening here too. The army rolled into town, started blocking exits. We thought they were here to help, but then they opened fire on a crowd. No warning. No nothing. Just gunfire. And the people they shot, they kept moving. This isn't a riot. This isn't a protest. This is a war zone. And we're losing. That's the part I can't stop thinking about. We're losing. More texts coming in. From Lisa, downtown. My dad is a paramedic. He called me and said they were told to stop treating people with bites. He said it spreads. Fast. That once you're bit, you don't have long. I asked him if he was coming home. He didn't answer. Another text. If you can read this, get out. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. They don't stop. They don't feel pain. Headshots. Only headshots work. Remember that. Headshots. Jesus Christ. The power just flickered. still broadcasting. For now. Outside, the skyline is burning. A few hours ago, it was just a glow in the distance. Now, it's everywhere. Fire in the east, smoke to the south. The city isn't falling. It's already fallen. New message. The news says we're safe, that it's only happening in the city, that there are safe zones outside the quarantine line. I just drove past one of those so-called safe zones. It's abandoned. No soldiers, no medics, just blood on the pavement and bullet casings everywhere. I don't think they're saving people anymore. I think they're just trying to kill as many as they can before it gets worse. So that's it then. We're on our own. The cops are retreating. The military is shooting anything that moves. There's no rescue coming. There's no safe zone. There's just us. And them. If you're still listening, if you're still alive, text me. Let me know where you are. Let me know what's happening in your town, your neighborhood, your home. Because the news sure as hell won't. I just checked the window again. The body that got up, it's gone. Not dead. Just gone. And I don't know if that's better or worse. This is final broadcast, still broadcasting, still holding on. If you're listening, stay inside. Lock your doors. Don't let them in. And whatever you do, don't get bit. If you're just tuning in, welcome to hell. I'm still here. The radio is still running, but I don't know for how much longer. The city is gone. The streets are empty, except for whatever's walking out there now. The official news broadcasts have stopped. The last thing they told us was to remain in our homes and wait for assistance. But we all know what that means. Assistance isn't coming. We're on our own. The station is starting to fail. The power flickered again a few minutes ago. The backup generator is running, but I don't know for how much longer. And I swear, I heard something in the hallway. A thud. Then silence. I haven't gone to check. I'm not going to check. If something's in here with me, I'd rather not know yet. New messages are coming in. From Milo, in North End. The city isn't the only place overrun. My brother lives out in the suburbs. He says people are vanishing. Not turning. Just disappearing. Whole neighborhoods gone overnight. No bodies, no blood, just silence. Another one from Jasmine in Westford. We thought we were safe out here. We were wrong. The highways are blocked, the power's out, and we keep hearing things in the woods. They're not just in the cities, they're everywhere. And the worst part? We're running out of food, of water. We're already fighting over it. The real monsters aren't the ones outside. Not yet. And then this one. No name. No location. Just one sentence. They're learning. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I just lost the main government frequency. It was looping the same message for hours. Stay in your homes. Await instructions. Help is coming. But now, gone. Just dead air. I don't know what that means, but it can't be good. Another message. From Terry, South District. My neighbor turned. We locked him in his house, thought it was over. Then I woke up in the middle of the night to see him standing in my backyard, staring, not moving, just watching me. How did he get out? How did he know where I lived? How did they know? I have no answers. Just more questions, and more reasons not to sleep tonight. I just checked the hallway. I had to. I grabbed my baseball bat. Yeah, real professional, I know. And opened the door, just a crack. Nothing. At least nothing I could see. But the feeling, something was there. And now it's gone. And I don't know which is worse. If you're still listening, stay inside. Lock your doors. Don't make noise. Don't let them know where you are. And if you see something you can't explain, you're not alone. If you're still listening, good. That means you're still alive. The world outside, it's not. The last government transmission is gone. The news stations aren't updating. The police scanners are empty. This city is dead. And I think I just heard it breathing. I haven't moved from this chair in hours. I don't dare. The power flickered again not long ago. The generator is still running, but I don't trust it. Everything in me is telling me to leave, to grab what little I have and run. But run where? The streets are full of them. And the messages I keep getting tell me that it's worse outside the city than inside. Message from Carl, somewhere near the edge of town. The military is gone. The checkpoints are empty. Just burned out vehicles and shell casings. I found a soldier, dead, torn apart. He was holding a radio. I turned it on. Static. Just static. The last thing they said before they went silent. Containment has failed. Do not retreat. No witnesses. Then gunfire. Then nothing. We're not getting out of this. No one is. I don't want to believe that. But the silence outside is starting to feel like proof. Another message. From Lena, trapped in a supermarket with her family. We've been here since yesterday, locked in the back. We thought it was safe, but they know we're here. They don't leave. They don't wander off. They just stand outside, waiting. They don't act like animals. They don't even act like people. It's like they know we're running out of food, running out of time. They're just waiting for us to open the door. I need to move. I have to move. But my body won't. Every part of me is screaming to stay in this chair, to keep talking, to keep listening. Because the moment I stop, I'll have to accept that I'm completely, utterly alone. I rub my eyes, trying to fight off the exhaustion. Then, a noise. Not in the station. Not yet. Outside. In the street below. I stand, moving slow, careful. I peek through the blinds, and my breath catches. There are people down there. Not a horde. Not the shambling crowds from the movies. Just 3 of them. Standing in the middle of the road. Still. Silent. Unmoving. Not searching. Not wandering. Just looking up. At me. I stumble back from the window. My pulse is thundering in my ears. They saw me. They know I'm here. I turn back to the mic, trying to keep my voice steady. If you're listening, they're here. I don't know how, but they know where I am. They're not moving. They're not leaving. They're just watching. I don't know what they want. I don't know if they even think, if they even understand. But I know this. They're not like the ones from the movies. They're worse. The radio crackles with another message. This one is from Tyler, outside of town. I shot one of them. Point blank, right in the chest. It looked down at the bullet hole, like it was confused. Then it turned and walked away, like I wasn't even worth its time. What the hell are we fighting? I don't know, Tyler. I don't know. And that's what scares me the most. Then it happens. The first knock. Software not frantic, not desperate, not like someone begging to be let in. Just testing. Knock. Knock. I freeze. The mic is still on. I force myself to whisper. There's someone at the door. Number not someone. Something. I can't breathe. I don't want to move. The knock comes again. Still slow. Still measured. Still wrong. Like it knows I'm listening. Like it wants me to open up. I grab the baseball bat. I stare at the door. Then, another knock. Closer. Not on the main door anymore. On the door to the studio. The one right behind me. I slam the mic off. I don't move. I don't turn around. The silence in the room is absolute. Except for the breathing. Not mine. Something else. Low. Ragged. Right behind me. I don't know how long I sit there. I don't move. I don't breathe. And then, the noise is gone. No knock. No breathing. Just the faintest sound of footsteps. Walking away. Like it changed its mind. Like it was just seeing if I'd open the door. I grabbed the mic, hands shaking. If you're listening, they're inside. I don't know how, but they're inside. And I don't think they want to kill me. I think they want me to join them. If you're still listening, good. That means you're still alive. For now. I don't know how long I have left. Not because of the power, not because of the fuel, but because they know. They know I'm here. And I think they're waiting for me to make a mistake. The knock stopped. The footsteps faded. But that doesn't mean they're gone. I haven't moved from this chair since it happened. I keep staring at the studio door, expecting it to burst open any second. It hasn't. But I know something was there. Something stood right behind me. I heard it breathe. And when I finally turned around, nothing. No broken locks. No open doors. Just the same empty studio. But the air still feels wrong. Like the space itself is different now. Like I wasn't alone in here. And maybe I'm still not. I grabbed the mic, my voice lower than before. Something was inside. It was right behind me. But it didn't kill me. It didn't even touch me. I think it was waiting, testing me. And then it just left. That's not normal. That's not how this works. They're supposed to be mindless. They're supposed to attack anything living. But these are different. New message. From Danny, near the collapsed freeway. Dude, you're not crazy. I saw the same thing. I was hiding in an old auto shop when one of them walked inside. I thought I was dead, but it didn't attack me. It just stood there, like it was thinking. Then it tilted its head, like it was listening to something. And then, it just walked away, like it got new orders. Another message. No name. They're not hunting. They're herding. I shiver, rubbing my arms. The air in the studio is cold. Colder than it should be. Or maybe I'm just imagining things. Maybe, or maybe. No, I don't want to think about that. Another message. From Marlene, outside of town. I saw something worse. One of them spoke. Not a word, not a sentence, just a sound. But it had a voice. It wasn't just groaning. It was whispering. Like it was trying to remember how to be human. I slammed the mic off for a second, swallowing the panic crawling up my throat. Number. That's impossible. They don't talk. They don't think. They're dead. That's how it's supposed to work. Right? I need to move. I need to stop sitting here, waiting to die. I stand, pacing the small studio, glancing toward the door again and again. I feel like if I stop watching it, if I blink for too long, if I even breathe wrong, something will be there when I look back. Something that wasn't there before. If you're still listening, if you're still out there, tell me what you've seen. Tell me I'm not crazy. Because I think we've been wrong about them. I think we assumed they were just monsters. But what if there's something worse? If you're still listening, if you're still breathing, then maybe you've seen it too. Maybe you've felt it. That thing in the air, in your bones. It's not just the dead walking. It's something else. And I don't think they're just hungry. I think they're waiting. I haven't slept. I can't. Every time I close my eyes, I hear it again. That slow, deliberate knock on the door. that breathing right behind me, that feeling of being watched. And now, I think I know why. Message from Andy, outskirts of town. I was hiding in my car when one of them walked by. I ducked down, held my breath, didn't move an inch. But it stopped, like it knew I was there. Then it crouched down, right next to my window, and it whispered something. Not words, just noise. Like it was trying to say something it had forgotten how to pronounce. Then it laughed, just a little. Then it walked away. I don't like that. Not one bit. The radio flickers. The static shifts. For just a second, just a brief, awful moment, I hear it. Not words. Not a voice I recognize. But breathing. Right there. Right in my ears. I rip the headset off. The sound keeps going. Like something is still on the line. Listening. I reach for the mic, my fingers shaking. If you can hear this, tell me I'm not the only one. Tell me I'm not the only one hearing them, because if they're listening to us, then maybe they're not just the dead. Maybe there's something else. If you can hear this, if you're still out there, tell me I'm not alone. Tell me you're still human. Because I'm starting to think maybe they are too. The radio is acting strange, stranger than usual. The static is shifting, crackling in ways it shouldn't. Like there's something else on the frequency, something pushing through the interference. It's not voices, not yet, but it's close. Message from K, South District. Dude, I was scanning through the AM channels just now and I swear I heard something weird. Not news, not emergency alerts, just this deep, distorted voice, like a recording from another time. It wasn't in English. It sounded old, like something from a number station. It kept repeating the same phrase, over and over. I don't know what it said, but it made me sick to my stomach just hearing it. Have you picked up anything weird on your end? I don't know how to respond to that, because the answer is yes, and it's getting worse. I've been listening for the last hour. There's something else in the static. A low, droning hum. It rises and falls, like breathing, like waiting. I adjust the dials, trying to lock onto it, but no signal, no station, just a presence. Something sitting just beneath the noise, like it's trying to break through, like it's trying to talk. And then, the voices start. It's not words, not at first, just sounds. Garbled, layered, distant, like a chorus of whispers trapped inside the frequency. I can't make them out, but they're there. They've always been there. And then, one voice cuts through. Not deep, not distorted, just a whisper. Open the door. I slam the mic off. I don't breathe. I don't move. Because I don't know if that came from the radio or from right behind me. The air feels thick, heavy, like something is pressing against the walls of the studio. Like something is waiting for me to slip. I force myself to speak. If you're listening, have you heard anything strange? Any signals that shouldn't exist? Because I think we're not the only ones broadcasting anymore. If you're listening, if you're still out there, I need you to tell me something. Have you ever heard your own voice say something you never said? Because that just happened. And I don't know what the hell it means. I've been at this radio station for years. I know how my voice sounds over the air. I know how the signal behaves, how the interference plays tricks on the audio. But this wasn't an echo. This wasn't interference. This was me, talking, but saying something I've never said. It started a few minutes ago. The static shifted, not like before. This time it cleared, like the noise was being pulled away, leaving something else beneath it. And then, out of nowhere, I heard myself. If you're listening, run. You don't have much time left. It's already inside. I froze, because those weren't my words. I wasn't speaking. I was staring at the radio, at the empty mic, at the dead frequency. But the voice kept talking. My voice. Don't trust the messages. Don't trust the ones that come without names. They're not from survivors. They're from it. And then, silence. Nothing. Like it never happened. Like the station never said a word. I sat there for a long time, just listening, waiting, trying to convince myself that maybe, just maybe, I imagined it. But I didn't. I know I didn't. And the worst part, I don't know if that voice was warning me or mocking me. New message from Tessa, outskirts of town. You're not crazy. I heard it too. I was flipping through frequencies when I heard my own voice. I swear to God, it was me. It was saying things I'd never said. It was laughing. Okay. Let's just take a second. This doesn't make sense. This isn't how radios work. But if it's not just happening to me, if other people are hearing themselves on frequencies that shouldn't exist, then something is very, very wrong. I take a deep breath, force myself to focus. If anyone else has heard this, tell me, text me, because I need to know how deep this goes. I need to know if it's just the radio, or if it's something worse. Because if something is repeating our voices, then that means it's been listening to us for a long time. I glanced toward the window, the dark street below. The things that were standing there before, they're gone. But I didn't see them leave. And I don't know if that's better or worse. I try to think logically. Maybe this is some weird interference. Maybe some station out there is looping voices, playing recordings at random. But I know that's not true. Because I checked the logs. That transmission never happened. There was no record of my voice saying those words. No playback, no loop. Just a moment where the world stopped making sense. Another message. This one is from Eddie, 2 towns over. I'm holed up in an old fire station. The power went out hours ago, but the emergency radio still works. I heard your voice, your station, but it wasn't live. It was you, screaming, telling people to run. What the hell is happening? I don't have an answer for you, Eddie, but I have a very, very bad feeling. I flicked the mic back on, my fingers trembling. If you're listening, something's happening to the radio waves. Something we don't understand. I need you to listen carefully. If you hear your own voice saying something you never said, get away from the radio. Don't respond. Because I think it's listening too. The radio crackles. For just a second. I swear I hear breathing again. But this time, it's not coming from the hallway or the static. It's coming from my headset. I rip it off. The sound keeps going. Then, a laugh. Not a human one. Something else. Something pretending to be human. Then, dead air. I sit there, heart hammering, hands shaking. Something is playing with us. And now I know. It's not just the dead we have to fear. It's whatever's controlling the frequency. If you're still listening, if you're still human, turn your radio down. Because I don't think we're alone on this signal anymore. If you're still listening, if you're still out there, then maybe you figured it out too. This was never just a virus. Never just an infection. Never just the dead walking. It's something else. Something worse. I haven't spoken in 5 minutes. I just sat here, gripping the edge of the desk, staring at the radio like it was going to explode, like it was something alive. Because I swear, it breathed. Not interference, not static, not the usual hum of the transmission. It was slow, deliberate, like something on the other end of the frequency was listening, like it was waiting for me to talk. And when I didn't, it laughed. Message from Cass, north side. I tried turning my radio off. It wouldn't stop. I unplugged it, still wouldn't stop. And then, it started saying my name. Not my full name, not my ID, just my nickname. Like something out there knows me. Like something out there is talking directly to me. Tell me I'm not losing my mind. I wish I could, Cass. I really do. But I think we both know the truth. Something is in the airwaves. And I think it's been there for a long, long time. The more I listen, the worse it gets. This isn't just a signal. It's not just a transmission. It's something else. Something we invited in. We've been sending signals into space, into the ground, into every inch of the world for decades. And what if someone has been listening? What if the infection wasn't just biological? What if it was broadcasted? I adjust the frequency dial, and there it is again. Not words, not language, just rhythm, like a heartbeat. Slow, steady, and then a whisper. It's already here. I yank the volume down. Number no. I didn't say that. That wasn't me. That was the station. Speaking. On its own. And I think it's telling the truth. New message. From Chris, 5 miles outside town. You ever hear those stories about old number stations? How they used to play weird messages, strange codes, signals that weren't meant for us. I think this is the same thing. But instead of sending a message, it's receiving one. The station isn't just broadcasting anymore. It's listening. I feel it now. The weight in the air. The static pressing against my skull. Like something standing behind me, waiting for me to turn around. I grip the edge of the desk. My breath is shallow, slow. And then, the lights flicker. The power dies. The station goes completely dark. I don't move. I can't move. Because something is still playing through the speakers. Even though the radio is off. Even though there's no power. Even though this isn't possible. Come outside. The voice isn't mine, but it sounds like me. Like an echo from somewhere else. Somewhere I don't want to go. I don't breathe. I don't blink. Because I finally understand. The things in the street, the way they stand there waiting, they're not wandering. They're listening too. To this. To me. To whatever is speaking through this station. And now it wants me to listen back. The lights flicker back on. The power returns. But the signal is different. It's not the same. I reach for the mic, my fingers trembling. If you're still out there, if you're still human, turn your radio off. Because whatever this is, it's not just the dead anymore. It's in the air. It's in the signal. And it's listening to you, too. If you're listening, if you're still alive, you need to turn your radio off. I know that sounds crazy. I know I've been telling you to stay tuned. But something is wrong. Something is listening to us. And I think it's using our own voices against us. This isn't just an outbreak. This isn't just a virus. It's something else. Something older. Something that has been waiting for a way in. And we gave it one. The station feels different now. The walls aren't walls anymore. Not really. They feel thin. Like if I press my ear against them, I'll hear something on the other side. Not outside. Not in the hallway. Beyond that, somewhere deeper. Somewhere I don't want to go. And the worst part, I think it's pulling me in. New message. From Hannah, trapped in a grocery store. I think the radio is changing us. I was holed up with a few people. We had a small generator. We were listening to you, to the emergency broadcasts, to anything that made us feel less alone. But then, we started hearing things. Not on the radio. Around us. Voices. Whispers. Like something was crawling through the shelves, speaking just below our hearing. Then one of us, she started talking back. She said she could hear them clearer than the rest of us. Said they were telling her what to do. We laughed at first, thought she was just losing it from the stress. But then she stopped eating, stopped blinking, just sat there, staring at the radio like it was talking directly to her. This morning, she left, just walked out the door into the street, right toward them. They didn't attack her. They let her join them. I stare at the mic. My heart is hammering. Number, no, that's not how it works. That's not what they do. They attack, they feed. They don't just take people. Unless that was never the point. Another message. From Travis, still hiding in his apartment. I think you're right. It's not just the infection. It's the signal. The sound. It's burrowing into us. It's not just spreading through bites. It's spreading through the airwaves. It's spreading through you. I yank my headset off. Number. No. That's not possible. That's just paranoia. That's just... The static shifts. It says my name. Not my voice. Not in any voice I recognize. Just a whisper. Slow. Mocking. Hungry. I back away from the mic, shaking. The power flickers again. The station feels warmer now. Like something breathing against my skin. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be near this thing. Because I know. It's not just the dead listening anymore. It's something else. Something inside the frequency itself. Something watching us. I grab the mic, forcing my voice to stay steady. If you're listening, get away from the radio. Turn it off. Because I think we're not just hearing them. I think we're inviting them in. If you're still listening, if you can still hear me, then I need you to do something for me. I need you to listen very carefully. Because I think the voice you're hearing might not be mine anymore. I haven't spoken in minutes. I've been sitting here, staring at the mic, afraid to open my mouth. Because every time I talk, every time my voice echoes back through the headset, through the speakers, through the endless static, it doesn't sound like me anymore. Not exactly. It's just a little off. A little too slow. A little too smooth. Like it's learning. Like it's practicing. And the more I talk, the more it sounds like me. I lean back in my chair, pressing my hands against my temples. I need to think. I need to clear my head. Because this is impossible. I've been broadcasting for years. I know my own voice. I know how it sounds. But right now, it's like I'm hearing it for the first time. Like something else is repeating my words just a second behind me. Like something is echoing inside the frequency itself. New message. From Neil, 3 towns over. I think the radio is lying to us. I swear to God, I heard you say something last night. Something about a safe zone on the outskirts. Said it was military protected. Said it was the last refuge. So I packed up. I left. I drove all night. Almost ran out of gas trying to get here. But there's nothing. No people. No army. Just an empty field. No tracks. No signs of life. But the weirdest part, when I got out of the car, my radio was still playing your voice, saying the same thing over and over. Even though the station was dead, I feel sick. I never said that. I never told anyone to go to a safe zone. I never gave that message. Which means something else did. Something using my voice. Something speaking through this signal. Something sending people into traps. Another message. From Jody, still hiding in her basement. I turned off my radio like you said. Didn't want to hear it anymore. Didn't want to risk whatever this is getting inside my head. But then, I heard it anyway. Not from the radio. From inside my house. It was your voice. Whispering through the vents. Telling me to come outside. I didn't. I won't. But I think whatever's out there, it doesn't need the radio anymore. I slam my hands onto the table. Number no. This isn't possible. This isn't how infection works. It's supposed to be the dead. It's supposed to be biological. Not this. Not this. I grab the mic, my fingers shaking. If you're listening, you need to stop following my voice. You need to stop trusting everything you hear. Because I think something is copying me. And I don't know what it wants. But I know it's getting better at it. The radio crackles. And for the first time in my life, I hear my own voice speak before I do. A fraction of a second ahead of me. A perfect echo. A perfect imitation. And then, it laughs. The station shakes. Not an earthquake. Not the wind. Just pressure. Like the walls are breathing. Like the whole building is pulsing with the same slow rhythm as the frequency. As the thing inside it. And then, a knock on the window. I jerk around. There's nothing there. But I felt it. Like the air itself just shifted. Like something just moved through the signal, through the frequency, through the goddamn walls. And now it's here. I turn the mic back on. If you're listening, if you can still hear me, then you need to know something. The infection isn't in their blood anymore. It's in the air. It's in the signal. And if you keep listening for too long, it's going to be in you too. If you're still out there, if you can still hear me, then you need to listen carefully. I've been telling you to stay inside, to lock your doors, to hold on, but I don't think that's enough anymore. I don't think anywhere is safe. I think we lost. The city is burning. I can see it from here, through the gaps in the boarded up windows. At first, it was just 1 or 2 fires, then more. Now, half the skyline is lit in orange, thick smoke choking the air, blotting out what little daylight is left. There's no more police sirens, no military patrols, no rescue teams, just the infected. And they are everywhere. New message. From Marco, 2 blocks away. I was trying to get out. Took the back streets, avoided the highways. Thought I was being smart. Then I saw it. A quarantine camp. Big military tents, barricades, everything. But there was no one inside. Just bodies. Hundreds of them. Some fresh. Some not. They weren't shot. They weren't burned. They just sat there and rotted. Like they were waiting for something. Like they knew no one was coming. I swallow hard, forcing my hands to stop shaking. It's over. We kept hoping the government had a plan, that there was somewhere out there we could run. But there's nothing. I checked the emergency broadcast channel. Still looping the same damn message. This is a national emergency. Please remain in your homes. Await further instructions. The situation is under control. Lies. We all know it. There's no control left. And now, people are finally realizing it. Another message. From Danielle, trapped in a pharmacy. I don't know what's worse. The infected or the people still alive. The first few days, everyone helped each other. We shared supplies. We made plans. Now we kill each other for a can of food. I watched a guy bash another man's head in with a brick over a bottle of water. I thought the infected were the real monsters, but I was wrong. We're just as bad. I lean back in my chair, staring at the ceiling. She's right. We're losing what made us human, and I don't know if there's anything left to save. I check the window again. The street below is worse than before. They're not running anymore. They're moving slower, calmer, like they know there's no rush now, like they've already won. New message. From Tyler, somewhere near the old train station. The tracks are filled with bodies. Someone tried to evacuate on the trains. They didn't make it. The doors are open. The cars are full of blood. Some of them still move. Not many, but enough. I think they were eating each other. I'm gonna be sick. I turn away from the mic, swallowing the bile creeping up my throat. Jesus Christ. What the hell are we supposed to do now? I try to keep my voice steady. If you're listening, I don't have answers anymore. I don't have solutions. I don't have hope. But I do know one thing. If you're still alive, you fight. You keep moving. You don't give up. Because the moment you stop running, the moment you stop fighting, that's when you lose. If you're still out there, if you're still alive, then it's time to stop waiting. Time to stop hiding. Because I just made a decision. I'm leaving this place. I'm not dying in this damn station. And I'm taking the radio with me. The station is no longer safe. I knew this was coming. I've been putting it off, hoping the walls would hold, hoping I could sit behind this mic and keep pretending I had control. But I don't. The doors won't last forever. The power is getting weaker. The things outside aren't leaving. And the worst part? I think they know I'm still here. New message. From David, last survivor at a safe zone near the river. The barricades failed. The army said they'd hold the line, but they were the first to go. It wasn't a horde that took us down. It was a handful of them. Just 5 or 6. But they were different, smarter, faster. They didn't just charge in. They waited. Let us get tired. Let us starve. And then they took us one by one. I'm the last one here. And I'm not waiting around to be next. I clench my jaw. I don't want to die trapped. I don't want to become another message that someone hears too late. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to keep talking. Until the very end. I start packing. Not much. Just what I can carry. Bottled water, some food, the backup transmitter, a hand crank radio, a solar charger, and of course, the microphone. If you're listening, I need you to know this. This radio will not go silent. As long as I'm breathing, I'll keep broadcasting. Even if I'm out there, even if I'm running, even if I have to whisper into this mic while I hide in some dark corner. I will not go quiet, because silence is death. And as long as I can still speak, then I'm still alive. I strap the transmitter to my back. It's heavy, awkward, but it's my lifeline, and I will not leave it behind. I take one last look at the station, the walls that kept me safe, the chair where I sat for hours, waiting for an answer that never came, the mic that carried my voice to whoever was still listening. It hurts to leave, but I know if I stay, I'll never leave at all. I take a deep breath, grip the baseball bat in one hand, and I step into the night. If you're still listening, then I guess I made it. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how far I'll get. But I left the station, and I'm still breathing. And as long as I'm breathing, this radio stays on. The city is quiet. Not the kind of quiet that feels peaceful. The kind of quiet that feels wrong. Like the world is holding its breath, waiting for something. I keep my steps light. The transmitter weighs me down, but I won't let go of it. I won't go silent. Not now. Not ever. The streets are worse than I imagined. I thought I'd see hordes. Movement. Something. But no. Just bodies. Some fresh. Some not. A few still twitch. Not alive. Not dead. Just waiting. If you're out there, if you're still alive, then maybe you've seen what I'm seeing now. The empty streets. The abandoned cars. The broken windows. The ones that haven't gotten up yet. But they will. They always do. I pass a gas station. The windows are smashed in. Inside, the shelves are stripped bare. Cans, bottles, medicine, all gone. Except for a single chair in the middle of the store, and the corpse sitting in it. Slumped forward, like it died waiting for something. Like it never even tried to run. I keep thinking about all the people who thought they could wait this out. Who locked their doors? Who stayed put? Who thought help was coming? But help never came. And now they're just sitting there. Like they forgot how to move. Like they're part of the city now. I don't take anything. Not yet. I have enough supplies for now. And something about this place feels off. Like if I stay too long, I'll end up sitting there too. I keep walking. The pavement is cracked, littered with paper, bags, shoes. Like people ran and never looked back. And then, I see something ahead. A shape. Not moving. Just standing there. I think I see someone. A person. Not one of them. They're just standing in the middle of the street. Not running. Not hiding. Just staring at something I can't see. I don't think they know I'm here. I slow my steps. I stay in the shadows. The person doesn't move. They don't turn. They don't run. They just stand there, facing the skyline, like they're watching the city burn, like they're waiting for something. I could call out to them. I could try, but I won't. Because I've learned something about this world. If someone is standing still, if they're not running, not hiding, then maybe they're already gone. I walk past them. I don't stop. I don't speak. And they don't turn to look at me. I keep moving. The air is colder now. The sky is darker. And I still haven't seen a single living soul. If you're still out there, then maybe you feel it too. This city isn't just dying. It's already dead. And we're just the ones walking through its corpse. If you're still out there, still listening, I don't know where I am anymore. I've been walking for hours, maybe longer, maybe not long enough. The city is a maze. Every street looks the same. Every building is broken. Every window is dark. And I still haven't seen another living soul. Not one. Just the dead. And the ones who haven't realized they're dead yet. The night is colder than I expected. The smoke from the burning buildings hangs thick in the air, curling through the streets like something alive. I keep my steps light. The radio strapped to my back hums softly. Still broadcasting. Still reaching out to the void. Still hoping someone is listening. Even though I know no one will answer. I need to find a place to sleep. I haven't stopped moving since I left the station. I thought maybe, if I kept walking, I'd find something. A sign. A safe house. Someone else out here, trying to survive. But the city is empty. Or maybe I'm the one who's empty now. I don't know anymore. I pass a row of abandoned cars. Doors hanging open. Windows smeared with dried blood. Suitcases spilled onto the pavement. A child's toy lying in the gutter. Like whoever was here left in a hurry, or never got the chance to leave at all. I don't look inside the cars. I already know what I'll see. I need to find shelter. Something with walls. A door I can lock. But I can't stay anywhere too long. Because I think they're following me. Not the dead. Not the ones that shamble and moan. Something else. Something that doesn't make a sound. Something I haven't seen yet. But I know it's there. Watching. Waiting. I find an old apartment complex. The front doors are broken open. The lobby is trashed. Papers, bags, clothes scattered everywhere. Like people tried to make a stand here. Like they failed. But it's better than nothing. I move slow. Up the stairs. Careful. Listening. The radio crackles softly, filling the silence. My own voice echoes back at me. Alone. Always alone. I find a door that's still closed. The lock is broken, but the door itself is holding. It's enough. For now. I step inside. If you're still listening, I found a place to rest. An old apartment. 3rd floor. No signs of life. No signs of death either. At least, not yet. I'm going to stay here for a while. Just until sunrise. Because the city feels worse at night. Like it changes when the sun goes down. Like it remembers something it forgot. And I don't want to be out there when it does. The room is small. A couch covered in dust. A kitchen with empty cabinets. A bedroom I won't sleep in. The windows are boarded up. But there are gaps between the wood. Enough to see the street below. Enough to see if something moves. I pull up a chair. And I watch. New message. From someone I don't recognize. No name. No location. Just one line. Don't stay in one place too long. I stare at the screen. The message came through 5 minutes ago. Before I even sat down. Before I even chose this place. Like someone already knew. Like someone was already watching. I turn off the screen. I don't want to see any more messages. Not tonight. The radio hums softly. The static is steady now. No interruptions. No whispers. No other voices. Just me. Just the city. Just the end of everything. If you're still out there, if you're still listening, then maybe you understand. There's nowhere left to hide. Nowhere left to go. So we just keep moving. Because that's all we have left now. If you're still listening, if you're still alive, then I need you to hear me. I need you to understand something. The city is bad during the day. But at night it's something else. It's worse. Much worse. I haven't slept. I thought I could. Thought I'd close my eyes for just a few minutes. But I can't. Because the city has changed. I can feel it. It started with the sound. A low, distant howl. Not the wind. Not an animal. Something else. Something massive. Something that echoed through the streets like it was crawling through the buildings themselves. Like it wasn't coming from one place, but from everywhere. All at once. I turned off the radio for a moment, just to listen. And that was the worst mistake I could have made. Because the silence, it was wrong. It wasn't just quiet. It was empty. Like the city wasn't asleep. Like it was waiting. Like something was listening back. I don't know what's happening, but if you're out there, if you're still alive, if you still have a choice, don't be outside after dark. Because I think the infection isn't the only thing spreading. I think something else comes out when the sun goes down. I glance at the window again. Through the cracks in the boarded up glass, I can still see the street below. The dead aren't moving much anymore. They were more active before sunset. Shambling. Roaming. Now, they're just standing there. Still. Silent. facing random directions, like they're listening to something I can't hear, like they're waiting. New message from someone I don't recognize. They know you're in there. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Don't even breathe too loud. They don't see like we do, but they hear everything. My stomach twists. I turn off the screen again. I don't want to see more, but I believe them. Because the dead outside, they haven't moved in minutes. But I swear, some of them have turned their heads. Just a little. Just enough to face my building. I stay perfectly still. I don't move. I don't even breathe too deep. And then I hear it. Footsteps. Not mine. Not from below. From above. From the floor above me. I think someone's in the building. Not the dead. Something else. Something that knows I'm here. I need to get out of here. I grab my things. I move slow. Quiet. The radio is still strapped to my back. Still transmitting. Still keeping me connected to whatever is left of the world. I don't turn on my flashlight. I don't risk it. Because whatever is in this building, it doesn't need light to see. The footsteps stop. So do I. The silence stretches. I swallow hard. Try to keep my breathing steady. Then, a noise. Not from above. From right outside the door. From the hallway. A soft, slow dragging sound. Something being pulled across the floor. Something big. Something heavy. And then, a knock. Software slow. Not frantic. Not desperate. Just testing. Like it wants to see if I'll answer. Like it already knows I'm here. If you're listening, if you're out there, don't ever open your door at night. Because I think they know how to knock now. If you're still listening, if you can still hear me, then maybe you understand. This city isn't just full of the dead. It's holding on to the living too. And I don't think it wants to let us go. I need to leave. Now I've been here too long. The moment the sun set, the world changed. The streets aren't just dangerous. They feel wrong. Like they're twisting around me, leading me in circles. Like they don't want me to find a way out. And the worst part, the things outside aren't moving. But I know they know I'm here. I know they're waiting. The knock on the door stopped. But the dragging sound didn't. Something is in the hallway. Something is just outside. And it's not leaving. I grab the radio pack, tightening the straps. It's heavy, but I don't care. I won't turn it off. I won't stop broadcasting. Because as long as I keep talking, I'm still alive. I don't know where I'm going, but I can't stay here. I need to move. Need to get out before sunrise. Because I don't think this city lets you leave during the day. I think if you wait too long, you just disappear into it. Like the others. Like the ones who never got out. I move slow, toward the window. The fire escape is still intact. A way down. A way out. If I make it that far. If the stairs don't give out beneath me. If the things below don't hear me. I reach for the window latch. Careful. Quiet. Then, the sound stops. The dragging noise outside the door. The soft shuffling. The low breath I thought I imagined. Gone. I freeze. This is worse. When there's noise, at least I know where it is. At least I know it's still outside. But now it could be anywhere. It could be right behind me. I don't turn around. I don't check. Because if I do, if I see something that shouldn't be there, I won't move at all. If you're listening, keep moving. No matter how scared you are, no matter what you hear. Because the moment you stop, that's when they take you. I push the window open. The air outside is thick with the smell of smoke and rot. The fire escape groans beneath my weight. Metal creaks. Rust flakes fall like snow. I descend, one step at a time, praying nothing below is looking up. Halfway down, I hear it. The window above me, the one I just crawled out of. It opens, slow, smooth, like someone is following me, like someone is watching me leave. I don't look up. I don't check. I just keep moving. I don't know what's left out here. I don't know if I'm walking into something worse. But I know one thing. If this city wants me dead, it's going to have to catch me first. If you're still listening, if you're still out there, then let me tell you something. I made it out of the building. But I don't think I made it out of the trap. Because the streets are worse than before. They're moving. Not the dead. Not the people. The city itself. The fog rolled in fast. 1 second, the street was clear. The next, I could barely see 5 feet ahead. The fire escape groaned behind me as I stepped onto the pavement. The air felt thicker. Like I was walking into something that didn't want me there. And the worst part, the dead haven't moved. They're still standing in place, still staring at nothing. But I swear, some of them are closer than before. I don't know where I'm going. I just know I need to keep moving. Because the second I stop, I feel like I'll never move again. I adjust the radio pack. It's still transmitting, still sending my voice into the night. The weight is starting to dig into my shoulders, but I won't turn it off. Because if I turn it off, if I stop speaking, then I'm truly alone. And I can't let that happen. The street isn't empty. Not completely. There are shapes in the fog, not moving like the dead, not shambling, just standing, waiting. Like they know I can see them, like they're watching to see what I'll do next. New message, from no name, no location, just a single line. They don't like when you talk. I slow my steps. I don't stop, but I move quieter. I turn down the radio, just a little. Not enough to kill the signal, not enough to become another ghost in this place, but enough to blend in, enough to pretend I belong here. The fog gets thicker, the buildings loom taller, the streetlights flicker, and then I hear it. Not footsteps, not groans, something lower, something closer to the ground. A scraping sound, like nails dragging against asphalt, like something crawling on all fours, something that wasn't here before, something that only comes out at night. If you're listening, if you're still alive, tell me what's happening in your city. Tell me if the nights are getting worse. Because I think the infection isn't just in the people. I think it's in the world itself. The scraping sound gets louder. It's not just one. There are more of them. Moving between the cars, between the bodies standing in the streets. I can't see them, but I can feel them. And I don't think they're undead. I press my back against a wall. Try to slow my breathing. Try to blend into the dark. Because I think if I move too fast, if I run, they'll chase me. And I don't want to know what happens if they catch me. Another message from someone new. You need to move. Now. They know you're here. I grip the mic. If you're listening, I need you to remember this. The dead aren't the only ones out here. At night, the city breathes. And if you're not careful, it will swallow you whole. If you're still listening, if you're still out there, then I need you to know something. I'm not alone anymore. And that's not a good thing. The scraping sound is closer now. It's not footsteps. It's not the slow shuffle of the dead. It's something else. Something that moves differently. Something that knows I'm here. And it's coming. The fog is thick. I can't see them, but I can hear them. The slow, deliberate dragging of claws against concrete. The low breathing, just out of sight. Not human, not dead. Something else. Something that wasn't here before nightfall. Something new. Something hungry. I need to move. I need to move now. I tighten the radio straps, grip the baseball bat in my hands. My knuckles are white. My heart is hammering. And for the first time in a long time, I run. The street blurs. The fog swirls. The city groans around me. And behind me, they move. Fast. Too fast. Not stumbling. Not dragging. Running. Hunting. Like they've been waiting for me to slip. Like they've been waiting for me to run. I cut through an alley. Hop over a fallen trash bin. The metal clangs loudly. A mistake. Because the sound, it draws them in. Another message. No name. No location. Just a single line. Don't look back. I don't. I can't. Because I hear them now. They don't moan. They don't snarl. They breathe. Heavy. Ragged. Like they've been waiting for this moment all night. Like they've been playing with me. Like they wanted me to run. If you're still listening, then hear me. If you ever hear something in the fog, if you ever feel like you're being watched, if you ever think you're safe just because the dead aren't moving, run. Run before they make you. If you're still listening, if you can still hear me, then maybe you've run before. Maybe you felt what I'm feeling now. That kind of fear that doesn't let you think, doesn't let you breathe, just keeps you moving. Because if you stop, you're done. I don't know how long I've been running. The city is a blur. Buildings pass in streaks of gray. The fog twists around me like it's alive. The only thing that's real is the weight of the radio on my back, and the sound of them behind me. I see the car, before I realize I'm heading toward it. An old pickup truck, doors half open. The windshield is cracked, smeared with something dark. I don't have time to think. I just throw myself inside, slam the door, lock it, and then I listen. Silence. No footsteps. No dragging. No breathing. Nothing. Like they were never there. Like they wanted me to get inside. If you're listening, I don't know if I just saved myself or trapped myself. But I'm in a car now. An old truck. Haven't checked if it starts yet. Because something doesn't feel right. Like I walked into a room that already had something in it. The radio crackles. Not mine. The truck's. The dashboard radio. It's on. Tuned to my frequency. But it's not playing me. It's playing something else. Something that was recorded a long time ago. I reach out, turn the volume up, and then I hear myself. If you're listening, if you can still hear me, then I need you to know something. This isn't my voice. I don't know how long I've been here, but I think I've been talking for a lot longer than I remember. And I think something else is talking with me. I think it's learning. And if you're hearing this, then maybe it already sounds like you too. I yank the knob down, turn the radio off. The truck goes silent. My own breath is too loud in the cabin. My hands are shaking, because I know one thing for sure. I never said those words. I check the mirror, just for a second. A bad habit. And for the first time tonight, I wish I hadn't. Because I see myself, but I don't move. My reflection is staring back, but I'm not blinking, not breathing, just watching. If you're listening, if you can still hear me, then don't trust your reflection. Because I don't think it's you anymore. If you're still listening, if you can still hear me, then maybe you've looked into a mirror before and felt something wasn't right. Like the person staring back at you wasn't really you. I'm telling you now. You were right. I can't move. Not yet. Not after what I just saw. Because I'm still staring at my reflection. And it's still staring back. Not moving. Not blinking. Not even breathing. Just watching me. Like it's waiting for something. Like it's deciding if it should move first. The truck feels smaller now. Like the air is thicker. Like I'm not alone in here anymore. The radio hums softly in the background. Still on. Still broadcasting. Still carrying my voice to whoever is left out there. But now, for the first time, I don't know if the voice they're hearing is mine anymore. I need to get out of here. But I don't think I can do it without looking away. And I think that's what it wants. I think it's waiting for me to break first. I slowly reach for the door handle. My fingers tighten around it. The reflection doesn't move. Good. I turn the handle. And then, it speaks. Don't go. I freeze. I can't breathe. Because that wasn't my voice. It wasn't exactly my voice. It was off. Slower. Smoother. Like it had been practicing. Like it had been learning. And now it was ready. I yank the door open. Jump out. The cold air slams into me. The street is silent. The fog is thicker than before. But I don't care. I won't stay in there. Not with that thing. Not with my own face looking back at me. Not after it spoke. I slam the truck door shut. Back away. Heart hammering. I don't dare look at the mirror again. Because if I do, if I see what's in there now, I don't think I'll be able to turn away. If you're still listening, then hear me now. Something is out here. Something that wears our faces. Something that sounds like us. And if you're not careful, you'll start to sound like it too. If you're still listening, if you're still alive, then maybe you've noticed it too. The way the streets don't feel the same anymore. The way the buildings shift when you're not looking. The way you keep ending up in the same place. Even when you swear you've been walking in a straight line. I think the city is changing. Or worse, I think it doesn't want me to leave. I've been walking for hours. At least I think I have. The fog is thicker now. It's like a wall, swallowing the edges of everything. No sky, no horizon, just endless gray. And the worst part, the streets aren't right. They loop, they repeat. No matter which way I go, I always end up back at the same intersection. The same burnt out car. The same flickering streetlight. Like I'm stuck in some kind of maze. Or worse, like the city is watching me. Like it's leading me somewhere. New message. No name. No location. Just 2 words. Go back. I don't know who sent it. I don't know who's still out there. But something in my gut tells me to listen. Because this place, it's not just a city anymore. It's something else. Something alive. Something that's been waiting for people like me. People who thought they could escape. If you're listening, tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me you've seen it too. Tell me you've walked down a street that didn't end where it was supposed to. Tell me you've seen buildings that weren't there before. Because if I'm the only one, then maybe I never left the station at all. If you're still listening, if you can still hear me, then maybe you've tried to leave before. Maybe you've packed a bag, picked a direction, and just walked. Maybe you thought the only thing stopping you was the dead. But it's not just them, is it? It's the city, the streets, the way everything feels like it's shifting when you're not looking. I don't think I can get out. And I don't think I was ever supposed to. I tried marking the streets. I thought maybe, just maybe, I was making a mistake. That maybe I was walking in circles without realizing it. That this was my fault. So I found a piece of chalk in a broken storefront. I drew a mark. Big. Bright. Right in the middle of the intersection where I kept ending up. A place I couldn't miss. Then I left. Walked 4 blocks down. Took 3 left turns. A right. Another left. Kept moving. Did everything I could to break the loop. And then, I found the intersection again. The same burnt-out car. The same flickering streetlight. The same feeling in my gut that I was being led here on purpose. But the mark, it was gone. If you're listening, if you've ever tried to leave, did it feel like this? Did it feel like the world was folding in on itself? Like no matter what direction you took, you were just walking deeper into its trap? Because I think I've been running in the wrong direction this whole time. And I don't know if there's a right one anymore. New message. No name. No location. Just 3 words. Stop trying. Listen. I shut off the screen. I don't want to read any more of them. I don't want to know who's sending them. Because maybe they aren't coming from where I think they are. Maybe they never were. I adjust the radio pack. It's still broadcasting. Still carrying my voice through the fog. But for who? For what? Because if I'm trapped here, then maybe the only ones listening now are the ones who put me here. Maybe they've always been listening. If you're still out there, if you're still alive, then tell me the truth. Has anyone ever really escaped? Or do we all just disappear eventually? If you're still listening, if you can still hear me, then I need you to understand something. I stopped moving. I sat down. I closed my eyes. I tried to breathe. And when I opened them, the city had changed. I was standing at the same intersection, the same burnt-out car, the same flickering streetlight. But now, the buildings weren't the same. The street wasn't the same. Everything shifted. Like the city rewrote itself while I wasn't looking. Like it was testing me. Like it wanted to see what would happen if I noticed. I think I was never supposed to stop. I think the only thing keeping this place together was me moving through it. The moment I stopped, it didn't need to follow its own rules anymore. I turn in place. Look at the new buildings. They're wrong. Too tall. Too thin. Windows stretching too far up, like they're reaching for something above the fog. Some of them don't have doors anymore. Some of them never did. And the worst part, some of them look familiar. Like I've seen them before, in a different part of the city. Like the world is rearranging itself piece by piece. Like it's running out of space to trap me. New message. No name. No location. You're almost there. I don't like that. I don't like any of this. Because what does that mean? Almost where? What happens when I get there? Because if the city is leading me somewhere, then that means it has a plan. And I don't think I'm going to like it. If you're still listening, if you've ever felt like the world wasn't solid beneath your feet, then maybe you understand. Maybe you've noticed the way things don't quite line up when you turn back. The way streets bend where they shouldn't. The way you can never quite get away. I don't think the city is broken. I think it's working exactly the way it was meant to. I start moving again. Slow at first, testing the ground beneath me. The world doesn't shift. Not yet. Like it's watching me. Like it's waiting to see what I do next. And then, I see them. Not the dead. Not the things that chased me before. Something worse. Something human. Or At least they were. I see people. Not survivors. Not running. Just standing there. Lined up along the sidewalk. Like statues. Like they've been waiting for something. I step closer. Slow. Their heads are bowed. Their faces are hidden. Their clothes are stained, but not torn. Like they've been here a long time. Like they've been waiting longer than they remember. Like they tried to escape before. And failed. And the worst part? I recognize some of them. I think I've seen these people before. Not in real life. Not in the station. In the messages. The people who sent me warnings. The ones who tried to help. The ones who told me to keep moving. They're here. But they're not moving anymore. I step back. I don't want to be here. I don't want to see this. Because now I know. Now I understand. If you're listening, if you're still alive, then don't stop moving. Because if you do, you'll just become another part of this place. If you're still listening, if you can still hear me, then you need to know something. The city isn't hiding anymore. It wants me to see. And I think it wants me to understand. I keep walking. The city keeps changing. But now it's not subtle. Buildings shift in the fog. Streets open up into dead ends that weren't there before. And the people, the ones who stopped moving, they're everywhere now. Standing in rows, facing me, waiting. I know what this is. This isn't a warning. This isn't a trap. This is a message. The city is showing me what happens to the ones who don't leave. The ones who get lost. The ones who don't keep moving. The ones who become part of it. I think the city is full of people. Not the dead. Not the things that chase you. Just the ones who never escaped. The ones who got tired. The ones who thought they could stop for just a second. The ones who didn't realize they were disappearing. Until it was too late. I speed up. I don't run. Not yet. Because I think if I panic, the city will close in around me. I think that's what it wants. And I won't let it. I need you to hear me. This isn't just about the city. This isn't just about the outbreak. This is about the signal. The frequency. The thing that's been here since the beginning. The thing that's been listening this whole time. I think this was never about survival. I think this was about transmission. The radio is buzzing. The static is changing. Not just noise. Patterns. A rhythm. A pulse. And then a voice. Not mine. Not anyone I recognize. Just a whisper. Repeating. Over and over. Like a signal trying to get through. Like a message being sent from somewhere deep inside the city. And I think I know where it's coming from. If you're listening, I think I finally understand. The outbreak. The dead. The ones who stopped moving. The city itself. It's all connected. It's all part of the signal. And I think I've been feeding it this whole time. Every time I spoke. Every time I sent my voice into the air. I wasn't just reaching survivors. I was making the city stronger. I see it now. Through the fog. A tower. Not a skyscraper. Not a ruin. A broadcast tower. One of the last ones still standing. One of the ones that never shut down. The place where the first signals came from. The place where everything started. And I think this is where it ends. I reach the tower. The door is open. Inside, it's quiet. Dusty. Like no one's been here for years. But the equipment, the machines, the radio systems, they're still running. There's a tape recorder. An old one. Plugged into the main console. Still spinning. Still looping. I press play. And then, I hear it. The first transmission. The one that started all of this. This is an emergency broadcast. Please remain in your homes. Help is coming. The situation is under control. It's the same message that's been looping since the beginning. The same lie. The same signal. And I realize it never stopped. It's been playing since day one. It's been keeping the infection alive, keeping the city trapped in time, and all of us who've been listening, we've been feeding it. If you're listening, if you're still out there, then this is the last thing I'll ever say. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to shut it down. And if I'm right, if this tower is what's keeping the city alive, then maybe this will all finally end. I grab the cables. The main power source. I rip them out, one by one. The machines flicker. The tape slows. The signal begins to die. And then, the radio crackles. Wait. Not my voice. Not the broadcast. Something else. Something inside the signal itself. The machines scream. The tower shakes. The lights flicker. And then, silence. For the first time since the outbreak began. No static. No voices. No breathing in the dark. Just nothing. I pick up the mic. Press the button. Try to speak. Nothing. The radio is dead. The broadcast is gone. And I think I just killed the city. I think I just ended everything.